Hey guys, we are on. We are on, guys. It is 12 o'clock on Thursday, and we are here for lunch and launch. And I just want to welcome you guys in. Hey, I know Thursday comes around quickly, right? And I know sometimes, we're in this thing where, okay, but I tell you, every Thursday, I am going to try to give you something that is going to help you launch deeper. So I want you guys to hang in here today, because today I really feel like I have something that will move the needle. We're going to talk about hypersensitivity, guys. We talked about those emotional snipers. And today, one of those emotional snipers we talked about was hypersensitivity. I'm going to dive into that a little bit deeper. But hey, come on in the room. I just want to welcome Pat Tarangi all the way from North Carolina. Grateful child. Thank you guys for joining us. Okay, people, come on in, come on in. I know, look, we got to shake all this weather off of us. It's been crazy, but I'm excited to be here with you guys today. So we are going to go ahead and get started. Okay, come on in, come on in. Thank you guys for joining us. I see people coming in. Sometimes people have a hard time connecting, but it's okay. It's okay. Hello, hello. I see some familiar faces in here. And look, I want to give a special shout out to one of my faithful people that just continue to support Launching Deeper. I want to give a shout out to Pat Tarangi. Pat blessed me with this hat. I've been donning some hats lately. Truth be told, man, the weather has just been tearing up my hair, but I just want to say thank you to Pat for just blessing a sister with this beautiful hat that I've been able to wear. So, okay, guys, we're going to go ahead and get into it. I know people are a little slow coming in. I had some texts from people that said that they wanted to join today. So, hey, we're going to get started. And if someone misses something, they can just catch it on the replay. So, we're going to talk about hypersensitivity. Now, what is that? So, hypersensitivity is when we believe or we become very sensitive to the things that people are saying, things that are happening, and especially in this politically racial climate that we are in the middle of. It is almost impossible not to be hypersensitive. It is almost impossible not to think someone is looking at us a certain way. We go in a store. Are people following us because of the color of our skin? Or is it just that we've become hypersensitive? So the reason that I'm talking about hypersensitive is because I believe that we are in a time where God is really pouring out his blessings, that we are in a time where we are walking through open doors. We talked about it Sunday, where God is saying, hey, this is available to you. You're able to use what God has placed in your hands, that I am making pathways plain, that I am helping people walk into their purpose. But what the enemy, his job is to stop you. Now, he can't physically stop what God has already said is yours. He can't take the blessing away from you. But what he can do is he can use tools and tactics. I want to call these emotional snipers that will actually stop you from walking into that place, that Goshen, that promised land that God has made available to you. So I just want to read this scripture. It's Matthew 24, 10 through 12. And this is Jesus speaking about the times that we're in today. And he said, and then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall arise, and shall deceive many. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. What is that telling us? Is that we're living in a time where Jesus said, many will be offended. So when we think of hypersensitivity, it grows. It can cultivate in a climate in the times that we're living in now. And like I mentioned before, because of all of the political unrest, because of all of the racial tension that is happening, coupled with the fact that Jesus is telling us we're going to live in times where many will be offended, it doesn't surprise me if we walk in a store and someone doesn't address us immediately. The first thing that we think is, oh, they don't like me because of the color of my skin. They're treating me a certain way. I'm not saying that those racial biases don't exist, but we have to recognize that the enemy will use those racial biases and hypersensitivity to stop us from getting and walking in our purpose. We'll stop partnering with people. We'll stop going into places because we become so hypersensitive. Oh, they don't support me. Oh, they just take me for granted. So we stop something that could be a blessing, guys. You know, I think about just all of the things that God has in store for us. And I think about the fact that if he can get us to the point where, say, even in churches, why is there so much church hurt now? Why are there so many people leaving churches, going to other churches? Because a lot of times we've become hypersensitive. Oh, they don't appreciate me. Oh, they're only using young people. Oh, they only use the people they know. I'm not recognized for my gift. And we end up leaving places that are places God has planted us to cultivate and to grow. We stop talking to people because people say things and we become offended so easily. I remember someone used to describe my house and they would say, oh, I love your cute little house. Now, they didn't mean anything by it, but if you're hypersensitive, you could say, oh, wow, they don't appreciate my house. They think I just have a small little house. But that's just language that some people use. You could have a big Cadillac, and there are people that will say, you know what? Oh, I like that nice little car you're driving. And to yourself, you're saying, little? But again, people, it's because we have become so sensitive. We are in an age where we become so offended. And what I want to say, the message that I'm trying to get across is that let us not sabotage where God is trying to get us to go. Let us not sabotage the people that God is trying to connect us to. Let us not sabotage the life that God is trying to make available to us because we become so hypersensitive that we tune out people, that we stop worshiping, that we stop going into stores because we feel that they're treating us unfairly or unjust. So guys, I can't just tell you, the symptoms of hypersensitivity. I can't just tell you that in these days that we're living in, that because we're living in days that we're going to be more offended, that people are going to be more offended. But I want to give you strategies to deal with it. Now, I listened to this lady, her name is Mel Robbins, and she talks about this 5-second rule. And whenever she's about to make a decision, whenever she wants to say something or react to something, she uses this 5-second rule to help her before she says or does something that could be counterproductive to what she should do. And all she does is counts backwards from 5. So guys, this is what you do. You walk in a store and you notice the person hasn't acknowledged you or hasn't looked up. Before we get all in our feelings, before we say, oh, these people don't have customer service, oh, I'm never going to come in here again, let's just take a pause, count back 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and think about it and say, you know what? Maybe they had a bad day. Maybe they're working overtime because their coworker called out sick. Maybe they're dealing with a health challenge. Maybe they're stressed out. They're struggling. Guys, we don't know what people are going through. So before we judge them, before we become offended, before we stop connecting to something, someone, someplace, because we become so hypersensitive, let's take a pause and say, maybe it's this reason or maybe it's that reason. So guys, in this time, we are trying to launch deeper. We are already in the last month of the first quarter. I can't believe it. We are about to go into the second quarter. And in order to launch deeper, in order to use what God has placed in your hands, we have to start recognizing those emotional snipers that are stopping us. Guys, there's this great book that I want to give you. It's called The Mountain Is You by Brianna Weiss. I think I'm saying that right. It's called The Mountain Is You. Sometimes people, it's not other people. Sometimes it's not the lady at the store. Sometimes it's not your coworker. Sometimes it's not your family member. Sometimes, guys, the mountain is you, right? Sometimes it's us. It's stuff that we have internally, hurt that we've been through, trauma that we've been through, that's stopping us from walking and living the best life. Now, guys, I want to give you a few scriptures that I think will help you as we deal with this emotional sniper of hypersensitivity. It's one I love. It's probably familiar to a lot of you guys, Romans 8:28. And we know that all things work for the good of those who love him and who have been called according to his purpose, guys. No matter how people treat you, no matter what someone says to you, understand that all things work together for your purpose and for your good. Proverbs 3 says, trust in the Lord with all of your heart and lean not on your own understanding, guys. Let's get out of our heads. If we submit all of our ways to him, he will make our path straight. No one else can open a door for you. No one can shut a door for you. No one can make your path straight. No one can stop you from walking in the blessings that God has called and has destined for you. Only you can do that. God is the one that opens the doors and shuts the doors. God is the one that makes your path plain and makes your pathway straight. No one else can do it. And the last one that I want to give you is 1 Peter 5:7. Cast all of your anxiety on him because he cares for you. Guys, let's start looking and saying, let me stop being so hypersensitive. Let me stop being so offended when people say things, because at the end of the day, it can't stop you from the blessings that God has for you. Guys, our 15 minutes is up that quick. And I just want to say thank you guys for riding with me. Look, March 25th, we are starting our group Coaching Mastermind. Look, guys, if there are books that you have said you wanted to write, if there are businesses that you said you wanted to start, let me tell you, I know we've been doing it the same way for the last 5 years. We've been doing it on our own. We keep it a secret. We're going to work it out. But let me tell you, God is opening a door. He's providing a community. It starts March the 25th. It is going to be a small group community, which is going to help you work through those emotional snipers. But we're also going to work on your purpose and your calling, because I understand that it takes a community to sometimes kick the ball over the goalpost. It takes a community, guys. And I don't know about you, but if you know you've been called to greater, if you know that God has purposed you for more, if you know that there are people that you are supposed to serve, you can do it on your own. But God is offering a community of people that will help you push that ball over the goalpost. Again, guys, I love you. DM me. We did have a little glitch in the sign up. So the link that I had to send people to sign up, there was a little glitch, but we have that corrected. So all of you guys that have messaged me and DM'd me and say that you're ready, we're getting that link out to you today so we can go ahead and send you all the information. Love you guys. Let's watch that emotional sniper of hypersensitivity and let's launch deeper. You have a great day.